Okay, so last time we added this JavaScript file, which logs this when the page is loaded, and we see in the console it says hi. What we're going to do now is make it so when we press this button, it's actually going to perform some action, okay? So get rid of this console.log hi. We don't need that. I'm making some space as well. And if you remember, we called this, we gave this button a class of nav show hide. So I'm going to copy that nav show hide class, go back to here, and then we're going to add an on-click handler to this button. So this means that any code we're about to write will be fired when the button's pressed. So we're going to create a jQuery object by doing this and paste that nav show hide in there. And I'm not explaining everything about jQuery because like other things I've mentioned in the course, I'm assuming you have a certain degree of knowledge of the basics of JavaScript and jQuery. If you don't know what jQuery is or you've never used it, you can do one of two things. You can go away and look it up yourself, which would be useful anyway, or ask me some questions and I'll gladly answer them and explain this to you. But for the benefit of everyone else who does know what this is, I'm not going to go through every single part of this in this course, okay? So yeah, any questions, just let me know, okay? But anyway, adding this on-click handler, we're going to say .on, and inside there, put click, like that. So that's the first parameter, is the event, which is a click. The second parameter is the function, which will be the code that's going to execute when it's clicked, okay? So whenever this event is fired, this code is going to execute. So inside there, to start off with, we can just say console.log dogs. All right, and then go back to here and refresh the page. And when we press the click me button on the console tab, we should hopefully see dogs and lots of dogs. Okay, so we know that works. Great. So what do we want to do when this is pressed? What we want to do is we want to show this navigation bar on the left, but not only that, we need to add this much padding to this main container, because if you remember in this main section container, if I go to this hello everyobe text I spelt wrong last time, it's hidden behind here. But if I give it some padding on the left, so padding left 240 pixels, you see it appears now, okay? So when this is shown, what we need to do is give some padding to this as well. Okay, so we need to do two things: show this and add padding to this. So go back to here, and we're going to create some variables which contain these elements. All right, so we have a main section container element right here. So copy and paste that main section container into here. We're going to say var main equals $, and double quotes, and it's going to be ID. So we have to use the pound sign or the hashtag, as some of you probably want to call it. Like that, and then copy and paste that line below, change this from main to nav, and this isn't going to be main section container, it's going to be this side nav container right here, okay? So now we have this main element right here, we have a reference to this right here, and we have a reference to this. So now that we have those variables, it's going to be easy for us to do something with them. So what we can do is say if main, which remember is our main content, dot has class, and then we're going to say left padding. I will explain this in a minute, so just follow along for now. So if it has class left padding, we're going to say nav dot hide, like that, else nav dot show. And underneath there, last thing to do is just main dot toggle class, and then put left padding like this. So what this is doing is when the button is pressed, it checks to see if this main part right here, this main section container, has the class left padding. If it does have the class left padding, it will hide the navigation bar. If it doesn't, it will show the navigation bar, okay? And then what this toggle class at the bottom does is it means that if it has left padding, get rid of it. If it doesn't have left padding as a class, add it, okay? So go back to here now and refresh the page, and hopefully I'll click that and you'll see it shows and hides. Great. So there is an issue at the start. If I go back to here, you see that if I refresh the page, it's showing by default, and we don't want it to be showing by default. We want it to be hidden. So go back to the index page And all we need to do is on this side nav container, just give it some inline style. Say style equals display none, and this will hide it as soon as the page is loaded. So by default, it's going to be hidden. So you'll see it's not there. And if I click on this button, it's now showing. And if I get rid of it, it's not there anymore. Okay. And the only thing left to do is make it so that when this left padding class has been applied, it will give it the left padding. And that's really easy. Just go back to this style.css sheet and copy this main section container part right here and paste it below. And then what we're going to do is after there, we're going to say dot left padding. So this is saying that this code will be applied to this main section container, which also has a class of left padding. Make sure there's no space between there. So that is wrong. Make sure there's no space between them, okay? This means that the element has to have both of these, an ID of this and a class of this. And then in there, we can get rid of that code and just put padding left. And we can just say 240 pixels like that, okay? So now if I click that, the left padding class has gone away. Yes, it's not there anymore, which means that this style is not being applied because this is only applied if it's got left padding. If I click the button, you'll see it adds left padding as a class here, okay? And then it means this style we just wrote is kicked in now, and then you'll see the green part on the left means that's the padding has been given, okay? So now we have a button which shows and hides a navigation bar. That was pretty easy, right? The one thing you need to do though, just to remind you, is if you've added style in here like this, in this style part here, you do need to copy and paste it into your text file. So don't forget to do that. So I'm just going to copy all of that and then go back to my CSS style sheet and just paste it all over the top like that. So I've just essentially just added this part here. Just don't forget to copy your changes back to your style sheet. I've done that many times and lost all my changes, okay? So yeah, that's it. If I refresh the page, you'll see there's our navigation bar showing and hiding.